So, South by Southwest, follow me here. It ended this Sunday, correct? I don't know, which says a lot. South by Southwest is a microcosm of Austin. Or, you can take your pick, or should I say, Austin is a microcosm of South by Southwest. For now, I'm happy for you to correct me if you would like, but for now, I'm going to go with South by Southwest is a microcosm of Austin. But the point is, it's the same path with the same result for both. Okay? They're one and the same. I know what's going to happen right now. You're going to say, Jeff, is this going to be one of those get off my lawn speeches? Yeah, probably. But you know what I'd like to do if you could work with me just for a little bit here? I would rather us rephrase it. Instead of you saying, why don't you shut up, you old Austinite, with the get off my lawn stuff. Instead of you saying that, which I get a lot, let's rephrase it, okay? What I'd like to do is, let's say this is a history lesson on the cultural decline of Austin, Texas. Can we do that just for today? Then every other day you can say, you old man, it's get off my lawn time again. I know, but today it's going to be a lesson in the absolute cultural decline in Austin. I think that sounds better. I think it's going to work better for today's discussion than get off my lawn. All right? You know why I'm prompted to talk about this? I'm prompted to talk about the cultural decline of Austin by a weird thing that happened at South by Southwest. I thought it was kind of goofy when I first heard it, but it did remind me of something. So you do need to know, just for a backdrop of the cultural decline in the city of Austin. And I don't mean cultural decline in like the right-wing nut job kind of way where they talk about all the cars are on fire, there's no cops, that stupid stuff. I'm talking about the actual cultural decline in the city of Austin. What you need to know is South by Southwest used to be a music festival. And there were a few art house films thrown in there. There were bands, and this is not an exaggeration, there were bands on every corner of this city. Anywhere and everywhere from 8 o'clock on you went, there was a band. And there were people all over this city handing out, I'm going to say it, CDs, and begging people to listen. They'd go out of their way to try to get in your way so you would listen. And it was so commonplace that famous artists, okay, and I'm just going to point out how different things are, and there's a reason. Famous artists would come here and sneak into music clubs. You know, there was a time in Austin where there was actual music with real bands in real music clubs. They did exist. Not just some guy in a corner with a laptop. But famous artists, really famous artists, would come to town, sneak in. It wasn't an idea to have your picture taken everywhere or be famous or sell something. Famous artists would come here. They would sneak into clubs and go see up-and-coming acts. Then they would sneak out. All that you would know about it is, oh, so-and-so was there, or Springsteen was there, or something like that. And they would sneak in and out. It was real art driven by real artists. Now South by Southwest is a giant technology company. It's a giant technology, almost trade show full of company executives, A-list celebrities selling stuff while pretending to be on a quest to discover art and music. That's what it is. You're fake, as always. That's what it is. It's a giant technology conference. It's a lie, okay? It's a trade show. How's that? You know, where you wear the name tag and stuff. It might as well be in Vegas at this point. Now, they're not looking for music. They're not looking for art house films. What everybody is doing here and has been doing here for quite some time is they're promoting themselves and products, selling stuff. Got it? It's a trade show. And they're selling stuff or themselves while hiding behind a fake hippie vibe, as usual. It's a microcosm of life in Austin. It's all a fake hippie vibe. Sorry. South by Southwest is the microcosm of Austin, or Austin is the microcosm of South by Southwest. Same path. Fake hippie vibe in a city that used to, you ready for it, used to have a real hippie vibe. And this event used to be a real hippie vibe. Okay, so where are we going with this, Jeff? Sounds get off my lawn. Yeah, it is a little bit. But remember, this is a history lesson in the cultural decline of Austin, of which I'm going to point to you what I believe is the absolute moment the culture was decimated. And it wasn't even South by Southwest's fault or your trade show or whatever you're doing. But there was a moment, I think, made me think about this. So this year, oddly enough, I don't know if I should say oddly enough, a band or two or three, I'm not sure how many, announced that they were going to boycott South by Southwest because of a sponsorship of South by Southwest by, I believe, the Army and defense contractors, I guess.
And the massive music and media festival South by Southwest, that continues in Austin today. But some artists are missing from the lineup now. We're talking more than 60 bands now boycotting in partnership with the Austin for Palestine Coalition. The group says it's protesting the festival, including several U.S. military contractors in their tech conference. Now, as for those companies, they also help supply Israel with weapons being used in Gaza. Governor Greg Abbott did react to that boycott on social media, writing, and I'm quoting, "Bye, don't come back. We are proud of the U.S. military in Texas."
Okay. How's that fit? I'm going to tell you how it fits, how I think it fits. First, you can protest for any reason you like. I don't think we protest enough, to be honest. I don't even think we know what we're protesting, to be honest. But I really do. I wish we all were more concerned. I wish voters were concerned about the war and the military industry. Sure. Absolutely. Right on. You can do whatever you want. But there's so much about this that says present day Austin and present day South by Southwest. Okay, one, just to think about where it starts. And don't do this thing. I was very clear just now. Don't say, are you denying them their right? They can protest all they want. I'm about to tell you about what a time in Austin when people really did protest. The real thing, not the fake kind. So, right on. I really wish we protest war more often, but we don't even know. We don't even know where the bombs are falling anymore. Okay, but, so this is so present-day Austin. One, of course defense contractors are involved. It's a giant tech show. That should tell you a lot. They're showing off stuff to buyers and investors. That's what this whole thing has become. That's what Austin is. Austin's a giant trade show almost. I hate to break it to the bands. I do. Good luck to you. Right on. I've never heard of any of you, but right on. The bands that have said we're out or we're out last week or whenever they took their position, it's not 1990. I'm sorry. It's not even close. Your music mattered very little at this event. It matters very little in this city. Oh, if it was 1990, you would have everyone would be with you. This thing wouldn't even be happening in 1990 if there were defense contractors. But it's not 1990 and you don't matter. No one cares. The city doesn't care. The people at the trade show don't care. Your music matters very little present day. A Google event at a swanky restaurant. Of course, they buy them up all over the city for the week to do the trade shows, But a Google event at a swanky restaurant matters more than any of these bands and their performance in front of 75 people. That's the way it is. This event, hate to break it to everyone, and those bands that are protesting and are saying we're out, this event left you a long time ago, and all you've done with this protest, although it's your right, and I wish more people paid attention, but all you've done is give Greg Abbott a soundbite to sell to rural, old, white Texans. That's what came out of this. So there was a time now. Let's walk back in time before you say, again, Ward, it sounds like get off my lawn. It's not. I'm going to point to the moment that the cultural decline was completely decimated. There was a time when real protests took place. Like a little bitty snippet like this, we wouldn't be giggling. People actually would have cared. Okay, there was a time. Boycotting military contractors would be a mass event led by not just bands, but the entire Austin City Council at one time. These no-name bands would have been joined by thousands. They would have won. There'd be people chaining themselves to trees. And they would have been joined by local government even. Now, if you take a look at it, the same local government that decades ago would have been protesting with them, decades ago wouldn't let defense contractors even be a part of this, but they wouldn't have been anyway because it wasn't a trade show back then when everyone were wearing name tags. But that same local government not only would have protested, that same local government now is at some corporate event or ribbon-cutting ceremony with a bunch of rich people. They don't even notice. You kidding? They're probably opening another condo tower right now. So it makes me think, it wasn't what is South by Southwest is a microcosm of Austin, or Austin's a microcosm of South by Southwest. It's the exact same trajectory, exact same path, exact same tone, the same plasticness. All the issues are the same. It's all like wrapped up into one. But there was this singular, the whole music thing made me think about the singular moment that captures the hippie vibe disappearing, the cultural decline starting. And there was this moment. We can debate this, I guess, and that's fine. But there was this moment, I think 2002, to sound really old. That's when the fight started. 2002 is when the fight first started. Now, when I say a fight, understand it wasn't some throwaway line. There were real protests. There were real people arguing. They would scream and yell at City Hall, and the City Hall people would listen to them. Now no one's there because they're at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. But 2002, the fight started. And it was a real fight. Music once mattered, and the pushback from the music community was huge. All right? So the city council then, even then and before that, was really all green. They would be chaining themselves to trees. The real thing. So then by the time you get to, I think it was about 2010 or 11, somewhere in there, you had this period of 2002 to 2010. This is, if you had like some sort of historical map, you could document the end of the culture. Here comes the slick dude, goodbye artists. It was about this time. And you know what happened? That just was the game changer of all game changers. Downtown condo residents started complaining about the music. Now, this would have been unheard of. I'm telling you, this would have been unheard of. Someone would have said, oh, really? Up yours, man. Get out of here. I'll turn it up if you don't shut up. But they started complaining. They're living above nightclubs and started complaining. They're living next door to music venues because they used to exist. There used to be real bands and real music. But they're living right next to them. They started complaining. And complaining. And they won. They won. There was a music ordinance put in place that basically said, turn it down, it's too flipping loud. You're keeping us up. In downtown Austin, which would have been unheard of. It would have set people into a full-on protesting rage years before. They won. Ultimately, the condo residents said, turn it down, it's too loud. They got what they wanted. The city caved, the city council caved, and it was goodbye music and goodbye artists. Turn it down. Turn the effing music down is the way it worked. They're trying to sleep. They mattered more. That was the moment that you could just like circle when all of a sudden the money mattered more than the artists. The condos mattered more than the artists. The voice of wealthy people mattered more than the artists. And that changed. It was a win for downtown wealthy people, downtown condos. It was not just a loss for music. It was goodbye, so long, you're out. Then it got more expensive. We can argue the economics forced the hippie class out, no doubt. But that was the moment that it was the game changer. Condo residents won, wealthy people won, and the music class was not to be heard of again. Again. I think I'm right. 2002 to 2010, that period was the period of the end of it. End of the music. Turn it down, right? So that could be a plaque somewhere. I want someone to go do this. I'll take some credit for it. Somebody go do this right now. Go downtown and make a plaque and put it somewhere that says, the death of music in Austin, turn it down. No, turn the flipping music down. That's it. And you can put a date on it. I'm not sure the exact day, but it's around 2010 or 11. There's your plaque. There's your tombstone. It was over. So with all due respect, hey, bands that protested, you were at a tech trade show anyway. You didn't matter.